Hi, everyone. It's Stephanie with the Patient Story, and we're back with Terri from KRAS Kickers for the third segment of this conversation. Terri, thank you. Like, you have been incredible in giving all this, guidance and in sharing your story. And I know your advocacy work is actually how we got in touch. Tell us about, well, first of all, the shift from when, you went from patient to patient advocate and starting KRAS Kickers. Why the need to do that?
It's like that, right? You get what you get, but you got to do something with it. And I've just kind of always been, brought up with the mindset of that you need to change what you can change and accept what you can't. And so when I had the diagnosis, I had to deal with what I had. And so I went through the diagnosis, I went through the treatments, I did the things that I needed to do. But you feel so vulnerable and you feel so helpless and really confused. And as I learned more and found out and kind of connected within the different groups and stuff, I found out that there's more people out there that have information that they're willing to share it. So I wanted to be one of those people that can help out and help reach that hand out to others. So as I became involved, the first thing I did was I joined a lung cancer support group and in our local community, and we have national groups around the country. And it's just they're not selling products. It's just patients getting together and hanging out and talking what it's like to be a patient and talking about doctors and stuff. And that kind of like I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed being able to connect with the other people and hearing what they had to say and being able to kind of share and process what I had been through too, and be able to connect out with people. So from that, we just kind of got a little bit more engaged, and I ventured out into like longevity and the Go-To Foundation and connected with those folks to be able to, give back and do phone buddies to people that were just newly diagnosed. And as the lung cancer community kind of breaks up into different biomarker groups around whatever the type of lung cancer that you have, really because we have different treatments that work for different people. And so within the particular lung cancer groups, there's EGFR, there's ALK, there's ROS1s, there's different groups. I wanted to find my group, but I didn't know what my biomarker was. I didn't know what was causing it. I kept asking my doctor. My doctor didn't give me the information that I needed, that I understood. Finally, when I went out for a second opinion, and this was 3 years later, I didn't do this right. Learn from what I did wrong, okay? I went out, I got a second opinion, and I said to the doctor, I said, well, you know what? What is my biomarker? Where is this? Well, you have a biomarker. It's just not actionable. You have KRAS. You have a KRAS and you have a certain subtype of a KRAS. Now, I was shocked that I had something and immediately went home looking for the KRAS people to be able to connect around the other people that have this particular type of mutation. There wasn't any group of people that had it. There was a group of people that has it, but they didn't have one area of connection.
Right.
So I started the KRAS Kickers. Now, since I was diagnosed and found out that it's KRAS, what I've learned is that KRAS is a mutation that is the most common cause in lung cancer. It's also the most common mutation behind pancreatic and colorectal. And so within the KRAS Kickers, we do have other patients that are from colorectal and pancreatic, but because I'm from the kind of the lung community, I'm most familiar with that. It has by far been the widest group of people is within the lung cancer.
Thank you for sharing that background. And I will put a link up to KRAS Kickers so people can easily access that. I was learning about KRAS myself, and I don't know, learning about how it's present in about 15 to 25% of non-small cell lung cancer cases, and considered to be the most mutated, what they call oncogene. And what that means, I think, for people too, is in the beginning it was pretty untouched in terms of drug development, but that's changing, right? And so, could you just give a quick summary to people, patients and caregivers, on what they should be on the lookout for, maybe what they could ask their doctors about when it comes to treatment.
Absolutely, because I'm so excited about this part of it. Okay. So what I found out after, like I said, 3 years into, I found out that I have KRAS, and it's KRAS, and that KRAS was one of the very first mutations that they found that caused cancer, and it was 40 years ago. And now the researchers had been trying to find some sort of a treatment, but they were unable to find a way to be able to specifically target that oncogene, that mutation. And so they had termed it undruggable. Now, just recently, they have found out that there's a way that it can be drugged, and we're going to be able to take a target, and we're going to be able to do something along the lines of possibly taking just a pill. Now, it's just different subtypes within it, but it's like any path, right? You have to make the first couple of steps before you get further down. But after 40 years, for the first time, they've actually made progress, and they're going to be able to do something. And
Amazing.
I am literally, I mean, I'm having a hard time sitting still. Yeah, I'm jumping on my seat because it is so exciting. And you got to understand 40 years, right? So 40 years of not having anything and not being able to do anything. And now there's a possibility of being able to do it and being able to keep, okay, to literally kick cancer's KRAS. And
Yeah.
so we have the KRAS kickers, and that's what we do is we help connect the patients. Okay, we're trying to connect the patients with the most current information that there is around KRAS, and the KRAS kickers are that sweet spot in the Oreo that brings those two areas together.
Together with
And we support each other and help connect each other with the information, with the current treatments, and with the support, because as you're going through different things, it's different for every person.
that's
As
right.
you learn, my story is my story. Your story will be yours.
Right. But this connection and this group that you've created, Terry, is amazing. And I actually, for 1 minute, if you could, what's the importance of clinical trials in this too? I don't know if patients and other people ask you about that, but obviously that's a big part of the research, right? What's your guidance there?
You know, I'm going to tell you, I'm here today because of research. Okay. My mom's not here today because there wasn't the research that we needed today. What we're going to be here tomorrow is a result of what it is we learned today. And I went into this space not knowing what's involved or what's engaged in any sort of a clinical trial or research. And it's kind of scary and kind of confusing. And now that I've actually learned about it, I have learned that you're really treated, not only are you treated well, but you're treated to either standard of care or the experimental drugs. And the experimental drugs have been so experimented on the little critters in the labs for years before they get it to you, that they are confident that this is going to be okay for you. And you are saving somebody's life tomorrow by working on it today. And so it really is just where the heart of it is. And that's really what gives me hope, because I know that there's not going to be hope for anybody tomorrow unless we start doing more today.
That's absolute. I mean, that sounds so right. That's great perspective as well. And Terry, I can't tell you enough how I appreciate all the time you spent with us today. I want to have more conversations with you. And so, everyone, please be on the lookout for Terry's story on thepatientstory.com. And thank you for the work that you do, Terry. And thank you for sharing your story to help others.
Well, thank you for listening to the story. And I just hope people can actually take it and apply it.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Terry.
you.